But I also recognize, as my daddy used to say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. It's not enough to have good intentions. You've got to follow through on them. That's what we're doing, I hope, with these initiatives. But we also have to build structures that last over time. And that's what I've been thinking a lot about in this consumer agency. This is why one of the first parts we built into this agency is an office for small financial providers, basically for community banks and credit unions. The idea is that we would build in the agency from the beginning an office that would permit us to have an ongoing conversation with small banks and credit unions. The first week that I was on the job, I hired Elizabeth Vail, talked to her about whether she would come over and work with us. And if you don't know Elizabeth Vail, you will. I want you to know her. She's Elizabeth.Vail, V-A-L-E, at treasury.gov. Remember, we're still part of Treasury right now. And if you email Elizabeth Vail, you will never be lonely again. She will email you back, she'll call you, she'll talk with you. We want to build into the consumer agency from the beginning the perspective of credit unions. So we didn't build an office for great big banks. We didn't build an office for the non-banks. We built an office to be able to talk to you. And when I say talk to you, what I really mean is talk with you. We'll tell you what we're up to. We'll tell you what our ideas are. We'll tell you what we think the priorities that we're putting together should be, what the research seems to be showing. But we want to hear from you whether you think we have that right. You're the ones who are on the ground. You're the ones who will tell us, wait a minute, you need to think about this other thing. Here's a consequence you're not looking at for this initiative. We want this to be a two-way conversation from the beginning. It is very important to me that whatever this consumer agency does, you will have heard about it, thought about it, advised on it. You will never be surprised. This is not going to be a place where we'll go off in secret, and the first time you'll really learn what's going on is when some rule is posted for official comment. It is important that we get what we do right from the beginning, and the only way I know to do that is to build a partnership with the credit unions. So, I should also say, come and see us at the new website. We're 5 months early. It's called the beta version of the website, but it's www.consumerfinance, all one word, okay, not the greatest name, but it'll work, consumerfinance.gov. And you'll see Elizabeth Vail. There'll be a picture there. You'll see some of the things she's been up to. Oh, and one of the things you'll see is where we've been and who we've talked with. So take a look there. So I want to draw this together by saying again, I'm here because of what's happened to middle-class families. They've been squeezed and squeezed hard. Too many of them, when they hit a medical problem, a job loss, or other unforeseen expense, have nothing. They have no savings. They are already deeply in debt. And even the smallest bump in the financial road can be enough to send them over a cliff. This latest economic crisis is just one more blow in an already dangerous financial world. The new Consumer Bureau is here to serve American families. It's here to make the financial marketplace clearer and less dangerous. But hear me on this. In the long run, families are not served if only a few trillion-dollar-plus financial institutions survive. In order to serve the American people, this country needs a robust, diversified financial services industry. To serve American families, this new agency needs to work with credit unions and with community banks to make sure that a wide range of services are available. Tomorrow, the Financial Institutions Subcommittee of the House Financial Services Committee will hold a hearing on the impact of the Dodd-Frank Act on small financial institutions. And your own Bill Cheney will be there to testify and to represent the views of CUNA's members. I look forward to reading Bill's testimony and others. I look forward to the fact that in 2 weeks I'll be in front of that same committee to talk about the formation of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And when I have a chance to testify, I look forward to testifying about what I've discussed today, about how the agency's focus on transparency can make markets work for consumers and for small providers alike. I look forward to testifying about how hard we have worked at the Consumer Agency to reach out to small financial institutions, to credit unions and to community banks, and to make them part of the DNA of this agency. Since I started on this job, I've talked with hundreds of people who run small banks and credit unions, and I've had conversations that have helped me understand far better the importance of the steps we take in standing up this agency, the direction we take and for the future in building into its structure the conversation with small financial providers, and in helping us set the priorities for the new agency. These conversations have been enormously important for me as I try to put together the agency, but I hope the long-term meaning of this conversation is that we are building a real partnership. Because ultimately, for us to get this right, you need to be part of everything that we do at the Consumer Agency. For this Consumer Bureau to succeed, credit unions must remain a major presence in the economy. The tens of millions of Americans who are currently members of credit unions must continue to have the option of receiving their financial services from organizations that are not, as you say it, not for profit, not for charity, but for service. The inspiration and hallmarks of the credit union movement, a desire for fair access to legitimate credit, an alternative to abusive lenders, and high-quality service must remain in our minds and in our hearts. Credit unions, you, have set the goals. And at the Consumer Agency, we want to be partners with you in making those goals a reality. Thank you very much. Thank you.